Hello everyone and welcome to Club Deck Corner. Yes, we are back. The dreaded international break, well, for some, not for all, is over and the famous are returning to football action in the Scottish Cup tie against Cove Rangers on Sunday. I am Scott Carney and joining me to preview the game as well to pick out some news since the start of the international break is Ali Pearson.
How we doing? Some cracking weather over the Easter weekend. Just a pity we can't go to the pubs and enjoy it.
I know, mate. How's the international break been for you, mate?
Shite. I know
Yeah.
Scotia enjoys international football, but I know me and you really couldn't give two shits about it, to be honest. I did sit and watch both Scotland games. The first game away for the first one they drew 2 each. Thought it was a poor game. The Faroe Islands, I thought the first half was shocking, and they obviously won it, but. No, give me. I know it's only Cove Rangers this weekend, but I'll take that any day of the week.
I'll take Queen's Park Juniors v Cove Rangers Juniors, mate, over watching Scotland. It's just not for me. I watched the first match, mate, as well, and I can't get into it. And then I didn't even bother watching the other two. So obviously Scotia's not with us today. He's still celebrating the world-class result of 4-0 against the Faroe Islands, I would imagine. So Scotia's not with us today. We've actually not heard from him. I don't actually know where Scott is. Who knows? But it's been a turbulent couple of weeks for me, not only for the lack of Rangers stuff, but for those that don't know, my sister's been in hospital. Gave us all a huge fright, as she likes to do from time to time, but she's making steps in the right direction. And giving it her all to get herself back to as full health as she can. I'm only mentioning that because I just want to thank everyone who got in touch, passed on very kind words, and also thank you to all yous for sticking around and still listening to us during a kind of forced break. So the Rangers family are truly like no other. This show is for you, Emma. Keep going. Hopefully we'll get in to see you soon. So thank you to everybody. But we're going to obviously get into the preview of the Scottish Cup tie, mate, on Sunday versus Cove Rangers, but we'll get into our choice of kind of Rangers related news that we wanted to discuss since what's happened really since the start of the international break. So do you want to kick us off, mate, and then I'll take away with a few points I've got?
Yeah, the one I was going to, sorry, it broke up there for 2 seconds, but I think you're talking about what news we've got for this year. Yeah. It's the one I was going to do was the MyGers is obviously back out again. I know MyGers last year hit, I think it was 30,000 memberships it hit last year, which is some achievement in a pandemic for fans that are paying for season tickets that we haven't got to see last year and stuff. So to get 30,000, well over £1 million worth, I think it was. Four Lads Had a Dream basically said that MyGers basically pays for Yanis Hadji in a way if you take his wages and stuff. So if you look at it that way, it's good. But yeah, if a lot of people didn't know. When you get MyGers, it's an automatic renewal. So you would have all get emails, like we all get emails last week about it. So I did get an email that some people might have got saying your bank details needed to be updated. So all you do is go onto the website, update your bank details, and basically buy the MyGers, and it'll bring the £50, which it would normally be to a non-season ticket holder, to the £40 one for the season ticket holders, and then that's it. You get a new pack with 150 years. It's all the gold as well. So you'll get a new pack. You'll get a new membership card as well. So yeah, so that's all happening this week. So if people maybe didn't realise or not check their emails or whatever and wondered where 40 quid came out of the bank, that's exactly what it is. But I'm sure people are aware. Greg Marshall's been on with the Heart and Hand boys explaining it too. So yeah, I mean, I'll give Rangers my fault. I've already done it, to be honest. It's come out of my bank. I'd give Rangers whatever they want, to be honest. But it's it's a good membership, and hopefully once we get back to the games, we'll get to see the benefits of MyGers.
Yeah, I certainly didn't know, mate. I must have missed the email, and I checked my bank account and realised that I'd actually signed up. Somehow I've managed to sign up me and my dad through my account, so I ended up getting £80 took off me, and I was like, "What?" I got a bit of a fright. But yeah, I think the way you said, mate, about the way that the Four Lads kind of broke it down and explained how much money it brings to the club and who, I mean, it's paying for Yanis Hadji. I mean, it's incredible. It really is. And I can only see the numbers probably going up, especially now that we're looking like we might get back to football at some point in the near future. You would like to think it would be kind of early on in next season for sure. I think there'll be a lot more people to uptake it. But yeah, I'm saying, mate, take my 40 quid. There you go. Have it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really going to fight back for it, considering who it pays for. But yeah, it's really good. It's a really good thing, and I think it's something that it's got potential to grow and do really, really good things and get people more involved. Looking forward to getting the pack though. I think the pack will be pretty impressive. Be a good thing to keep hold of in the future. But anyway, I'll move on to some stuff I've picked out. Obviously, Alan McGregor has signed up for another year. Takes him to summer 2022. This is great news, well deserved from him. If he continue to produce saves like he has been this season, especially in the Europa League, we have our number one for the next campaign. I'm delighted about this, and there's not really much more you can add to Alan McGregor.
Yeah, obviously Steve Davis got tied up as well in the year's contract, which was good. I mean, you'll come on to Steve Davis about this week, but no, I'm delighted to get McGregor for another year. It was always down to McGregor. Folk would have said, I know you mentioned if we win the Scottish Cup this year, it'd be good to go out in a high, and of course it would be, but he's 39, he's a goalkeeper, he's in as good a shape as he's ever been, probably. He's as good as he's ever been with Rangers. Doesn't look like he's slowing down, so as he kind of said, why not? I mean, for all we know, we may not win the league next year, and he could go out in a bit of a damp squid, if you like it. I mean, I hope not. I hope Rangers win the league next year and win everything next year. But he could have went out in a major high this year, but he's chose to stay with Rangers. And no, I'm delighted. And it gives us another year with Robbie McCrory, because he's been out on loan with Livingston this year, and he's been in and out of that team, to be honest, which isn't great for us. We need him to go somewhere and play week in, week out if he wants to be that Rangers number one. So I'd imagine Rangers will be looking, if McGregor's there a year, will he be there another year? I don't know. So I think they'll be looking at that goalkeeping position next year, thinking, right, what are we going to do? And wherever McCrory goes, I'd imagine he'll go out loan. He needs to play every week. He can't be going somewhere and sitting on the bench all the time.
Yeah, I think that in terms of McGregor signing, it was all down to him. I think Gerrard had made it quite clear that he wanted McGregor to stay on, so it was really all down to McGregor and what he wanted to do. The only reason I thought I did mention that about if we go on to win the Scottish Cup, he might decide that's enough, but he's obviously feeling fit enough and happy enough, and he wants to continue on, which you're not going to have me complaining about. I'm certainly not going to complain about it. So no, I'm delighted about it. In terms of Robbie McCrory, I don't know if he's going to be the number one. I really, really don't. Again, I know people speak about his age and that he's kicking on a bit. Goalkeepers, Alan McGregor's a perfect example. He's 39 years of age. Goalkeepers have got a longer career than outfield players do.
He started his career later with Rangers because he was out loan quite a lot, McGregor. He didn't really get a first team slot till he was early 23, 24, 25 until he was actually within the Rangers team. So different for a goalkeeper. So yeah,
it definitely is. It definitely is different. I think Robbie McCrory is an interesting one. I think the romance that we have with the Rangers and the way we have with goalkeepers, we would love nothing more than for it to be McCrory, another Scottish goalkeeper. A Rangers fan, do you know what I mean? It's everything that you want between the sticks. But no, for Alan McGregor, I'm delighted to see him stay on for at least another year. And his interviews as well, they're just top class, really, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I feel good, why not? He is, the guy's absolutely, he's class. But we'll move on. So Alfredo Morelos won the Player of the Month for March. Well deserved. Again, his interview's spectacular. Every time I see him get interviewed, I just love him. I'm like, oh, Alfie, please stay with us. But yeah, Ali, well deserved. That's for Morelos, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he deserves it. And it's weird now because for the last 3 years or whatever it is, we've not heard this Morelos in interviews, and all of a sudden he's in interviews all the time. You can't shut him up, but it's all the wee words he says and how he says it and stuff. It's brilliant, and I mean the interviews are no longer than a minute because that's all they can get out of him pretty much, and it's the same kind of stuff. But no, it's good to see, and it was good when they asked him what was your favourite goal, and he said it was against Celtic, which was good to see. But no, I just love everything about Morelos, and I like we've talked about it. I just hope he stays next year for a wee crack at Champions League because he's He's brilliant, and he gets Rangers. I know he's foreign and the language isn't great, but he gets Rangers. I think he knows what it's about and what we're about as well. So I was delighted for him.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted for him as well. And you're right, mate. The wee bit with the what was your favourite goal? He's like, against Celtic. It's like, I fucking love him. Do you know what I mean? He knows that he doesn't know very much English, or he doesn't let on that he knows very much, but he certainly knows the right things to say, and you can't help but absolutely love the guy. Everybody loves to hate him, and we love to love him. So I just hope he hangs around, gives the Champions League a crack, but well deserved. And we'll move on to the last bit we have before we go into our preview of the next game. And it's Steve Davis. Obviously, Ali, you mentioned he signed up with Rangers again for another, was the end of summer 2022 as well, another year.
Yeah.
Again, completely well deserved. You really can't. I couldn't grudge anybody giving Steve Davis another year's contract. But the reason I bring him up, obviously, is he made his 126th appearance for Northern Ireland the other night, making him the most capped British male footballer of all time. Truly a remarkable achievement by him, and it just shows that he's as strong as he ever was. He's a true legend for Rangers and a true legend for Northern Ireland. He's been probably in our top 3, I would say, 2 maybe, of our players of the year. I don't think there's really any doubt about it. He's 155. He's topped that off by signing a contract extension, and then he's topped that off by making 126 appearances for Northern Ireland. Long may it continue. He's a legend.
Yeah, it's similar to McGregor. He's excelled this year as well, and they're key players for Rangers, the two of them. Been there, done it in previous seasons with Rangers teams that have won stuff. But how many times have you described Steve Davis as a Rolls Royce? And that's what he is. But to get 126 caps, I mean, you see a lot of players getting 120, the higher caps, but you see a lot of these players that maybe play for a smaller nationality, and that's why they get the caps. But for him to play Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland's a good team. I know they're struggling a wee bit. Ian Barraclough's their manager. He's still searching for a win. I know they drew against was it Bulgaria there, 0-0, or was it Bulgaria? I'm not sure. Sorry, somebody need to correct me there. It was 0-0 anyway. But that shows me how much I pay attention to international football. But I know it was 0-0. But yeah, they're struggling a wee bit, Northern Ireland, in their group. So it looks like they'll probably miss out in terms of getting to the World Cup in their group at the moment. But no, 126 caps and 36. He'll go over the 130 caps now, and yeah, he could play for Northern Ireland for at least another 2 years until he decides he wants to stop, basically.
Yeah, your description of the Rolls Royce, mate, is perfect with Steve Davis, as we've always said it, and I think it's been so impressive the way he's adjusted to playing a deeper role, adjusting the way he plays. He's kind of took it in his stride. He knows he can't do what he used to do when he was younger, but what he does now is vital for Rangers, and it's vital the way we play. And again, just another no-brainer to get him signed up for another year. As you say, him and McGregor are true winners. They've been here and done it before, and they've came back and they've done it again. And it's brilliant, and it's truly deserved. And they're such good people to have around the kind of next generation that we are going to be bringing through, McGregor and Davis, because they know what it's all about. They will go down in history with our club. There's definitely no doubt about it. So congratulations to him for signing up for another year, and congratulations to him for his achievement with Northern Ireland. It's truly remarkable. So that'll do us for the news, Ali. We'll move on to our next game. So Rangers are taking on Cove Rangers in the Scottish Cup at Ibrox on Sunday, with the ridiculous time for a football match of 6:30 on Sunday night, and the ridiculous channel of Premier Sports. Honestly, Premier Sports is bad enough, right? But 6:30 on a Sunday, I mean, come on.
Yeah, I seen Celtic got the Saturday one, which was the nighttime kickoff, which I would have liked the Saturday one at nighttime. That would have been nice. I know it's Easter weekend, and I know I have Monday off. I don't know if you have Monday off. I know you don't get bank holidays where I work. I'm working. Yeah, so there will be a lot of people that probably still will be working this Monday, and again it goes along in at the weekend again. Again, it's a Sunday 6:30. You're sitting there again. You'll be sitting tomorrow waiting about in this game, and Premier Sports as well. You'll need to pay your 10, 12 quid, whatever it is. I know you'll get it for the month. The only good thing with that is the next rounds come up really quick and they're back-to-back within a week. So if you do pay a £10, £12 Premier Sports, you'll get the next 2 games on top of that. So yeah, it's not bad. And Premier Sports is a diluted version of BT Sports, really. So that's all it is. But yeah, stuff is what it is, to be honest.
It sums up Scottish football, though, really, the fact that it's spread across kind of 3 platforms that we watch football. So Sky Sports obviously gets most of the games. We obviously BT Sports for Europa League. I know that's not for everybody, but then you've got to pay for Premier Sports as well to watch the Scottish Cup and the League Cup. It's just a joke, it really is. Yeah. But I'm not really surprised by it. But 6:30 on a Sunday is not ideal for a game of football. It really isn't. But that's what we'll need to sit about all weekend and wait for. But it was press conference today. So just before we get into our thoughts on the match, it was Gary Mack and Scott Wright that attended. Ali, I know you've not seen much of it, but what can you take from it? Anything of serious note?
Yeah, I'll admit I've skimmed through it. My day's not went as I thought it was going to be today, so I've not had actual time to sit down and prepare, so I do apologise to people out listening there.
You're a labourer today, aren't you? You're a labourer.
Yeah, I've got 3.5 ton of stone coming, which I'm helping my sister move for her garden, so I'm looking forward to doing that. So, but no, I did watch the press conference. It was Gary Mack was wheeled out today, and it's kind of skimmed over most of what we've said. Basically, the first one was McGregor. They touched on. He said basically it's what we've said in terms of it was always down to McGregor. It's his body. He knows what he's going to do, and he's delighted. He's earned a contract this season in terms of performances. So, no, I talked about that. Davey Edgar was up for Heart and Hand asking about, do you see the season now as a bit of a mini season in terms of the league's done, but there's still targets to hit in terms of the league, the unbeaten. The Scottish Cup's coming up as well. So he touched on that and he agreed with that, yeah. And I think that the kind of 2-week break there has benefited Rangers in terms of they've had the madness of winning the league and the highs, the Europa League, what happened with that. So it's good to kind of press the reset button and go again. And yeah, he mentioned that. He also mentioned injury-wise as well. Tav's back out in the grass apparently, which is good news. I wouldn't imagine you'll see him for a good few weeks, but obviously the Celtic game will be coming up. It's the 2nd of May. Potentially we could face him in a cup as well, which you would want him back for then. Obviously we didn't mention the COVID-5 that have got their 4-match ban and 2-match suspended. Yeah, so they're going to miss the next 4 games, which includes cup games as well, which is decent. So they'll be back quicker than we may have expected. So we'll need to watch the right back position. But the worrying one, which we've said for a while, and he touched on it, is Ryan Jack was down in London and seen a specialist. And I don't think they know what's wrong with Ryan Jack, because as soon as you send somebody a specialist, that's why he's there, to try and find out what the root of the problem is, because we can't have him playing 5-6 games, breaking down and being out for 5-6 games like Kamara. We can't have players like that. And Ryan Jack's a really important player at Rangers. We need to get to the root of this problem and find out what it is. And to me, it seems, reading between the lines, he came out for the rest of the season. I mean, we've only got a couple of months left in the season, and yeah, it could be out. It's worrying. The only other positive he did mention was Big Nico was out in the grass. I did see him on social media this week out running, which was good news. But again, he won't be back till next season. No. And again, I reckon he'll go on loan next season as well, because if we've got Balogun, Hollander, I know he's been linked away, Goldson, and Jack Simpson. Aye. Simpson. So you get four centre backs there. So he might go on loan next year for maybe 6 months to get his fitness back up. But yeah, that's all he was on about, and he touched on Davis for 126 caps as well. So yeah, that's all he really said.
In terms of the Ryan Jack one, we've been thinking about it for a while, mate. We mentioned that a couple of times on the pod as well, that it's a 7 to 10 days thing, wasn't it? 7 to 10 days. Just after I watched the press conference, Ryan Jack posted on Instagram that he was gutted to be out injured and he couldn't wait to put the top back on. It was just a picture of the Jack number 8. And yeah, you could be right, mate. It could be the rest of the season. The only good thing about that is they could actually get it sorted in this amount of time. Obviously, they've got pre-season coming up as well, so it might help get to the root of the problem and maybe get him back fighting fit we just need to keep our fingers crossed with it, because he is kind of vital for us, and I don't see him, especially now he's kind of injury proneness, if you like. He's probably not going to get a move away from Rangers, so he's going to need to do all we can really to get back to fighting fit. Good news about Tav though, being back on the grass. That's really good. And I say Nico as well. I follow him on Instagram, mate, and he's just, like, boys turned into an absolute unit, man. He's a tank. But he's obviously I get what you're saying about him coming back and maybe going out on loan even, but I think he'll come back and he'll try his hardest to try and stay at Rangers.
I think that's the character he is. He comes across as that type of guy, to be honest. He won't want to go out on loan. It might just be good for him to go out for 6 months and play week in, week out, and then come back in January. It's
a year of football he's missed, isn't it? So it would probably make sense in terms of that, especially with the way, if we've got every centre-back fit, Gerrard likes to rotate quite a lot. Well, apart from Goldson, obviously Goldson kind of plays, but he likes to rotate quite a lot, so it might not be the constant football that he needs. But an interesting one to see, but it's good. Carry on.
No, because I was going to say, because, I mean, the season starts next year, the 31st of July. That's when we're back in the Premier League again, and that's not far away. So... I'd expect him to go out on loan for the first part of the season, get games, and come back in January.
Yeah, one to see, but good to see them back. Not so good news about Ryan Jack, but we all expected it, I think. So Scott Wright was next. Again, it wasn't very long, mate. Anything of real note to take from that?
He was there for about 3 minutes. He speaks really well, Scott Wright. I mean, we've all been really excited about Scott Wright when we see him on the park, and I think he comes across really well in interviews. They asked him basically similar questions in terms of kind of mini season coming up, targets, getting in that Rangers team. He basically said similar stuff to Gary Mack. They also asked him about the Cove Rangers were playing. There's a few Aberdeen connections in there as well. So I think he plays for Cove Rangers for Aberdeen, but he said,
no idea.
Yeah, but he said he's not obviously talked to them, but. And obviously they've learned lessons from the St Mirren game in terms of the League Cup, so that they'll take lessons from that going forward. But that was pretty much about it. And basically he wants to try and get into this Rangers team.
Yeah, I like Scott Wright as well, mate. I like the way he comes across. I think he's quite an exciting prospect for Rangers. And he did, I think it was him that mentioned that they weren't really thinking about playing a weekend team. Again, I don't know how much I believe in that. I don't expect the full 11, if you like, in inverted commas, to play. I do expect some form of rotation, especially with players that are coming back from international duty. But yeah, no, I like Scott Wright. Spoiler alert, I think he'll start on Sunday.
Yeah, same here.
So we'll move on, mate. As I say, there wasn't a great deal in the press conference today. We'll move on to Cove Rangers themselves. Now, they're not even in the same calibre as Rangers. Obviously, that's a given, but this is a cup, and we can't really take it lying down. Rangers are still going to need to go out there and beat the team that's there, but I do see it being rather comfortable for Rangers. I don't see any real great difficulty in Rangers getting the win, especially with it being at Ibrox. Are you kind of along the same lines, mate?
Yeah, I know they're sitting second in League One, just behind Falkirk. I know Cove Rangers have got a bit of money behind them in terms of those leagues. That's why they've come up the leagues. They'll potentially come up this league, maybe into the Championship through the playoffs, or unless they leapfrog Falkirk. So, you can't take your eyes off against any of these teams. As soon as you do that, you'll get hurt. And I don't expect Rangers to do. I expect Rangers to field. I think we'll field quite a strong team. I think on Sunday. I mean, I'll come on to my team, but I think it'll be quite a strong team.
I would agree, mate. I think it will be. I still think there'll be some form of change. It won't look like the team that would usually play, but I do expect the same, mate. I expect a more than capable team to be able to beat Cove Rangers. So just on that, mate, we'll jump on to starting 11. I know you're pretty much winging this, mate. So do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Well, I'll dive in, yeah.
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
The COVID 5, I've put a wee spanner in the works because I would have seen quite a few of them playing your Zungus and that. So, goalkeeper, I think Al McGregor will start. I'm going to go McGregor in goals because he's not played games for the last 2 weeks. I'm going to go McGregor. I'm going to go left back. It's going to be Barisic, I think, because Big Shirley's out. I think Simpson will go your left centre half. I think he'll get a shot in beside Goldson. and Balogun will be right back. Midfield 3 will be Kamara, Arfield, and Aribo. And I think the top 3 will be Kent, Morelos, and Wright.
Oof. That's well different than what I'm picking, mate. So the same back 4 you've picked. I think McLaughlin will probably start just to give him a game. To be honest, I know Alan McGregor's obviously signed his new deal. But nah, I think McLaughlin will probably start. The midfield 3, I've got Davis, Kamara, and Arfield. And the only reason I'm doing that is because if Zungu was there or Ryan Jack was near enough fit, I think they would replace Davis. But I think he'll go with Davis. Arfield, I think, is a cert to start because he needs the game time.
Yeah.
And then my front 3 is Wright, Defoe, and Roof. Is Roof fit? Roof's fit, isn't he?
Oh, Christ, Roof, I forgot about Roof. Yeah. He is.
So I'll go with Wright, Defoe, and Roof. I think that's will start just to give him a run out. I think I would love to see Morelos start, but I don't think he will. I think it'll probably be Defoe.
Right.
That front 3 but could probably beat Cove Rangers on their own. The one you picked, to be fair. Yeah. But I think it's quite a difficult one to predict. It depends how Gerrard's feeling and how he feels like the squad are, I suppose. But I think there will be some changes. I think Simpson's probably due a start, just so we can actually see him in about an hour's worth of football at least. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As I say, it's just a shame we need to wait till 6:30 on Sunday night, man. It's a fucking joke. But anyway, that's just Scottish football. It really is. Score predictions, mate. What are you thinking? I'll go first. You went first that time, so I'll go first. 4-0, I'm going for. I'm going to pick Defoe to score and Wright to score.
I'm going 5-0 Rangers, and I think if my front 3 all play, each one of them will score a goal.
Yeah, so that's probably a good shout.
Yeah. I think there'll be a lot of changes in this game as well, just to shout. I think you'll start with a strong team, kill them off, and then bring other players on. That was my theory behind it.
Yeah, you would like to think so. I say I don't really see Rangers having a great problem, but I thought that against St Mirren in the League Cup, mate, and look what happened there. So, but I fully expect Rangers to be able to win this match quite easily on Sunday. So, yeah, that'll do us. We'll leave it there. I say not the longest of shows today, but we're back to it. We're nearly back. Rangers are very nearly back. Not long to wait now. So, Ali, I appreciate you giving me your lunch break and your labour hours, mate. Get back to work.
The stones have just arrived, so I'll be going out shoveling for the next 2-3 hours. So can't wait.
I hope she's got you a crate of lager to take back up the road, mate.
I hope so. I know my wee niece got me an Easter egg, so I've got that. There you go.
I would have been doing that for an Easter egg, mate. No, I'd be expecting some form of alcohol, I think. No, that's great, mate. No, I do appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much for your time, man.
No problem.
So shameless plug time, but please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the videos, give us a wee 5-star rating on Apple Podcast, leave a comment and share anywhere that you can. It really does support us and it really does make a huge difference. So thank you to all for listening. We are Club at 22, the Champions Podcast, and we will speak to you on Sunday with a club reaction pod where we will go through the game. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers.